Thank you for coming, everyone. Welcome to Richard's celebration. I'm not calling this a funeral because Richard didn't live life enough to actually call this a funeral. Richard was living his life like there was no other day after today. But Richard was not at that age, at that stage, where we need to be buried Richard. My father's in his 70s. We should be planning on when we're gonna bury my father. We shouldn't be worry about when we're gonna bury our little brother. But this is where we are. I'm not calling this a funeral because I don't see it as a funeral. He lived his life like there was no other day. So we're just gonna make this another day, and then we say our goodbyes. We're gonna be somewhere else, but he's not gonna be with us. He's not gonna call me anymore and tell him that he's going to wherever he's going. He's not gonna call me and tell me that he met someone. He's not gonna call me and tell me he's on a plane going somewhere. Those conversations are over. I am going to miss them not because it was my little brother, because he was a good friend of mine. I've talked to this kid about everything. He actually listens. He actually was a good listener. But he had one flaw. When you talk to him, he doesn't listen. He doesn't listen. Nous la jodi a pas pour nous être capable de célébrer un funérail, pour nous faire un thème. Nous pas là pour nous faire un thème. Si femme n'a pas dans l'âge pour nous être capable de faire un thème pour nous. Papa dans 70 ans, c'est pour papa pour nous préparer pour nous dire papa moi pour nous être capable de faire funérail pour papa. Pour nous être capable de papa. C'est pas monsieur nous t'a dû apporter Kounia là, so peut-être ça moi même pas verrer ça ou enterrement. Richard te joué ville, tant qu'on pas de démonstrer. Chaque jour c'est dernier jour Richard. So aujourd'hui on considère aujourd'hui comme ce dernier jour Richard. Richard pas seulement petit frère pour moi. Richard est un bon ami. Je comprends les Richard avec problème moi me dire mais qui ça me gagne, mais qui problème que me gagne, mais qui tribulité que m'a passé sur l'étendue. Bon, lui-même il était comme ça le problème. N'importe ce qu'il dit, il va attendre. Ça, il dit l'affaire, il le fait. So, mais côté nous, il y a la cognac. Nous avons célébré le dernier jour, Richard, sous terre, comme un monde qui est capable de voir, nous capable de manger, nous capable de dire un dernier goodbye, nous capable de dire bon voyage, côté le aller, l'arrivée là, la fait ça pour le faire. God saw you getting tired, and he knew we would weep when he took you from us. As you fell asleep, a golden heart stopped beating. Hard-working hands at rest. God broke our hearts to prove us he only take the best. You were one of the best. Rest in peace, little brother. Bon Dieu te ouais ou fatigué. Et il était connaît, nous t'a crié. Il était prend route dans nous. Comme vous tombez dans dormi, yon ke golden, yon ke diamant, yon ke l'or, te suspend back. Mais travail dit sans repos. Bon Dieu t'écrasé que nous pour prouver nous, les seulement prend pi bon. Ou te youn nan pi bon yo. Reposez en paix, petit frère. Good day, everyone. On behalf of myself and the men of my family, my father, Jean Baptiste, and my brother, Baptiste, Calix, I would like to welcome everyone as we gather today to remember Richard Leon Calix, aka Chopper, aka TBK, Throwback King, aka Straight Down, aka Money Flashy Lifestyle. Bonjour tout le monde. Non, non, moi-même, avec famille, papa, Jean-Baptiste Léon Calix, avec celle frère, Baptiste Léon Calix, Moi, je accueillir tout le monde parce que nous sommes rassemblés aujourd'hui pour songer Richard Léon Calix, a.k.a. Chapa, a.k.a. TBK, Throwback King, a.k.a. Straight Down, a.k.a. Money Flashy Lifestyle. Your presence here today is affirmation of your love and support to the family. On behalf of my family, I want to thank you all for being here or watching online. We may not remember everything we say here today, but we will remember the presence for the rest of your lives. Présence ici la journée, c'est affirmation dans mon actipo by famille. Non non famille, moi je voulais remercier nous toutes parce que vous ici et puis ça capte aller sur internet là. Nous pas songer tout ça que nous dit jeudi mais nous allons songer présence pour tout le reste de la vie. I would like to say a prayer. I would like to say a prayer, but I know my brother really loved this guy, so I'm going to let this guy say this prayer for him.
Father, please walk with us through the bad times as well as the good. May we be heard and understood from the suburbs to the hood. May you judge us by our hearts and not by our mistakes. To see that we get our breakthrough, however long it takes. May you fill that void in our souls from laying our beds to rest. There's no way we can live for Jesus when we're living in the flesh.
So I
pray that you allow our spirits to be born, grow strong, move on, know right from wrong. 1 John chapter 2, verse 15. Do not love the world and anything in the world. And we know what that means. But listen, we know the distance we need to be away from fire to keep it messing. But that doesn't mean we'll listen. Lord, you take care of fools and babies. You teach women to honor their men and men respect their ladies. But lately, so many of us have gone astray, doing wrong for so long that we've forgotten the way. Please bring us back home. Instill in us the word, which is our backbone. We're just children and not grown. There is so much that we're entitled to, yet we receive so little. Because in this time of spiritual warfare, we're comfortable in the middle. So I pray that you open our eyes, give us the anointing to recognize the devil and his lies. If we keep our actions wise, our prayers sincere, our heads to the sky, you will diminish our fears. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Amen.
I want to remind everyone this is not a funeral. This is not a funeral. This is the end of the day for Richard. He's just not going to be with us. The church was not old enough for us to actually have a funeral for Richard. So I refuse to call this a funeral. Richard did not leave as if he would die one day. He was fearless, brave, and has a good heart. And for those reasons, I love them, and we will cherish the memory that we share for the past 30 years till the day God calls me home. Moi, je veux pour tout le monde songer que ce n'est pas un enterrement lié, c'est célébration façon Richard qu'on vivre. Richard pas vivre tant que s'il était mort un jour. Il n'a pas fait rien, il était brave, il était gagné un bon cœur. Et pour raison ça, moi t'ai aimé, et puis m'a serré souvenir nous t'ai partagé pendant 30 années qui sont passées Jouk bon Dieu relève dans ciel là. My little brother TJ would like to recite a poem, Do Not Stand at My Grave and Weep, in the honor of our little brother Richard.
Hey, keep it on that page.
It's right there. It's right there. Go. Just go. Good?
How's everybody doing this morning? Man, today's a hard day, man. It's been a hard week. You never want to bury your little brother. Richard was not just my little brother. Richard was like my best friend, the person I see every day. When Richard come home from work, I make sure I'm home because I get home before him. If I'm not home, Richard will call me. Where are you, man? The love Richard had for people. If Richard called you his friend, Richard will do anything for you. If Richard had $5, his last $5, and you needed it, Richard will give it to you. If you're his friend, you're not just his friend, you're his family. That's probably what put Richard in a position where he is. Richard loved his friends. He loved some of his friends more than he loved his family. Because he sees us every family, and now he's trying to build a family ship with his friends. No matter where you are, you need Richard, you call him. If you're his friend, he's coming. If you get into a fight, Richard will be there for you. If you go to jail, Richard will clean out his bank account to bail you out if you're his friend. Man, like my brother was saying, my dad's 79 years old. Richard was 35. Me and Richard and my older brother should be planning our dad's life. When he passed, how are we going to bury him? How are we going to celebrate him? Not this way. We shouldn't be burying our little brother. Absolutely not. Richard was full of life. I work at Home Depot. I'm a manager at Home Depot. But Richard was a handyman. I can't even come close to how handy Richard was. Richard can tear this building down and build it back up again. Richard had a little boy face, but Richard was a man, a real stand-up man. If Richard tells you he's going to do something, it's going to take the whole world to change his mind. My kids couldn't be here today because they couldn't see this. Because they see Richard every day, and they look at Richard as somebody that can play basketball with, somebody that can be in their age range. They could play basketball with Richard, they could have fun with Richard, they could laugh with Richard, because Richard had this baby face, but Richard was a full-grown man. Richard handled his responsibilities. I just couldn't get Richard to be his age, because when he looked in the mirror, he saw a younger person than what his age really was. Not being able to call him or hear him say, yo, when he gets home, if I'm in the room. If I go out, Richard said, what time you coming home? I said, I'll be home at 3. If I'm not home by 3:30, he's calling me. He was that person, he was a protector. Richard just wanted the best for everybody. If you look at his Instagram, that's not the Richard we know. That's not the Richard my family knows. That's a different person from the Richard I know. That's why I shut off my social media, because people that see him on social media don't know Richard. They don't know who Richard was. They just see a person that's enjoying his life to the fullest. That's what they saw when they see Richard. But the Richard I know is a loving person, a person that can make you laugh. He has a smile that can turn a bad day into a beautiful day. I've never been through anything like this before, so this was the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. When I had my kids, I thought I couldn't be in the room to watch them. I cried, I passed out. But this is nothing like that, man. This is just knowing I'm not gonna see my little brother anymore, and knowing it's not that Richard was sick. It's not that Richard got into a car accident. It's just Richard just ended up with the wrong crowd. I try to tell Richard how to live his life, the way I live my life, the way my brother lived his life, the way my dad lived his life, the way my sister lived her lives. But with that being said, no matter what Richard didn't deserve this at the age of 35. I'm 39 years old. Richard should be taking care of me. Richard should be taking care of me as my little brother. Man, I couldn't find the heart to tell people Richard passed away because I still don't believe it. I'm looking at his body right now, I still don't believe it. I will not see Richard in my dreams because Richard is not that person. He won't put me through anything that I can't handle. I get into fights, I come home, I don't even tell Richard. Because if somebody touches a hair off my back, Richard will go crazy. Like I said, it doesn't matter if you're his friend, his best friend, a person that he just had a few minute conversation with. If you need anything, Richard will reach out and give it to you. So, I'm gonna miss Richard so much. Richard lived with me, we shared a place together. It's gonna hit a lot of people hard, but it's gonna hit me the hardest. Because I see Richard Monday through Sunday. And Richard loved to eat. And whenever Richard come home, he brought 2 plates. When I'm not home, he said, "Where are you? Have you ate?" I said, "Yeah, I ate." He said, "Oh, I brought you a plate, man. I'm not gonna touch him until you're hungry again, so you can eat first." He always wait for me to get food first, out of respect, out of love. My brother lived in another state. My brother knows Richard. All of you guys know Richard, but you guys will never know Richard like I know Richard. For the past 15, 20 years, me and Richard lived together on and off. And for the past 3, 4 years, Richard's been with me. And the fact that I'm never gonna see Richard again. I'm never gonna see his laugh. I'm never gonna hear his voice. I'm never gonna be able to call Richard and say, "Where are you, man? I'm cooking." Sometimes I joke with Richard. I said, "Man, you think I'm your wife, man?" Because every time you come home without food, he said, "Hey, did you cook, man?" I said, "Man, I'm not your wife, man." And when I do cook, he come over and he said, "Oh, I know you was my guy, man. I know you was my guy. I smell something in here. I smell something in here. I know you was my guy. I know you was my guy." And whenever I call Richard, I say, "Hey, Richard, I'm having a problem at work. What you think I should do?" Richard said, "If something bothers you, get rid of it." His advice and my advice were different advices, but the way Richard is, he tell you straight up. If he don't like you, don't like you. If he like you, he falls in love with you. And when he falls in love with you, that love is there forever. Richard will call me and say, "Hey, one of my friends took this from me, took that from me, and I know they took that from me." I said, "Man, you don't need friends like that around you if they're gonna take your stuff." And he said, "Yeah, man, I'm gonna cut that person off." The next week, he's back with that person again. Because the love Richard has for people never goes away. That's the kind of love we need, man. That's the kind of love we have to show to one another. The best thing I got out of Richard passing away is the phone calls. I get phone calls from people I haven't seen in 20 years. I get phone calls from people I haven't seen in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 3 years, 6 months, 7 months. This kind of stuff brings people together. But we don't have to wait for something like this to happen to give somebody a phone call and tell them you love them. If I went to school with you, you know I love you. If we play basketball together, you know I love you. If we eat together, you know I love you. We don't have to wait till something tragic happens to reach out to one another. I was in a market the other day. I saw some familiar faces. I'm like, man, I thought you live in Boston somewhere. Let's not do that. Let's keep in touch with each other. Let's uplift each other. Richard friends didn't have a job. He gave them a job. Even the ones that if you need a job and I know you're not gonna do well at the job, I will not give you a job. Richard, it doesn't matter if you're gonna do good or bad. He wants to see you happy. He'll give you a job. Because that's the person he is. He wants everybody to eat. If Richard has money in his pocket, you don't have to go in your pocket. He's going in his pocket. I didn't want to make this a big speech, man. This is straight off my head because, like I said, I know Richard better than anybody. I know Richard better than my mom. I know Richard better than my dad. I know Richard better than anybody. So, with that being said, let's love each other, man. Back in my days, if we had a problem with somebody, we'd fight it out. And then next week, next month, next year, we become friends again. But now, everybody want to take somebody's life. That's not the way it's to be. That's not the way it's supposed to be. If we have a disagreement, let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. We don't have to end up here. There's no need to be here. I wanted to celebrate Richard getting married, having kids, buying houses, doing beautiful things. Richard's last job, he was a foreman. He worked so hard. He started as a helper. He ended up having his own work truck, and he ended up being the foreman. Richard made a lot of money. All his money he spent on all his friends. He shared the love, all the money he had, he shared it with his friends. Because he wants to see everybody happy. He wants to put a smile on everybody's face. He wants friends. And Richard is this person that everybody wants Richard around him. So Richard will come home, take a shower, and leave because his phone blowing up. Everybody wants Richard around him because Richard will spend. Richard will be the life of the party. We're gonna miss a great person. Don't look at that social media stuff, man. We all been there. We all been there. We all done that. A lot of us grow out of it. Some of us, we're still doing the same thing we did when we were young. With that being said, man, I'm gonna miss Richard. I'm gonna have Richard, former boss, come up here and say a few words. Kyle, he worked with Richard every day. Thank you, guys. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Hi, my name's Kyle. Richard, I thought about writing something down, but if you knew Richard and you put your heart into writing down stuff about him, you'd be there all day. So I kind of wanted to just highlight some of the moments that I had and the experiences that I had with him. I met Richard about 10 years ago in Naples when we were working for another company, a restoration company. During that time, he stayed with the company, I was venturing off doing other things, and we'd talk like maybe once, twice a year. Then I started my company, and I was like, you don't know this, but you're gonna end up working for me. He's like, no, I'm happy where I'm at. I'm like, for now. I was like, trust me. Well, it ended up happening. A little bit lost. It's a lot, but I remember how Richard would just light up any situation, any room. It didn't matter how bad the situation was that you were going in, I could just sit back and watch. It was like watching an angel walk through. Um, in Psalms 23, it talks about, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. And it's like an angel was walking ahead, preparing the presence of anywhere that Richard went. Because once you knew Richard, you fell in love with, like TJ was saying, his heart. It's, if you look at the Bible, Jesus knew that people were going to take advantage of him. He knew that they were going to disrespect him. Richard was the same way. Richard would love people, and he would know that he could see things coming. Super smart. And he would just, it's almost like he just, like what you were saying, he would like prepare himself for, you know what? I'm gonna have to forgive this person, but you know what? The love that I have in my heart is gonna overcome and move past that. And I'll grow, they'll grow. This morning, I had to run to a job real quick before I came here. And as I'm walking down, Richard and I got to share a lot of like his perspective on faith and my perspective on faith. And I was walking down in my truck, and it was funny because what you said, TJ, and your older brother, I haven't met him yet, but you said that this is a celebration. And as I'm walking to my truck, I feel like the presence of God is telling me, Richard just went ahead of you guys. And when Jesus left, he said, I go to prepare a place for you. So what you were saying, like where you would come home and either food would be prepared or whatever, it's kind of the same thing where it just kind of lets me know that he's not gone, he's just not with us here. But as we continue to exude some of those characteristics that he had, he was charismatic, he was funny, super diligent, hard work, he'll outwork anybody in the room. And my job to cultivate him was to put pressure on him, because physical pressure, nobody grows. You don't grow muscles without physical pressure. You don't grow mentality or your mind without mental pressure. So I would pressure him to learn certain things, to understand a process, and he would just continue to excel every time. And I'm really going to, this may sound stupid, but I was just driving the other day and looked over and was kind of having a half conversation as if Richard was still sitting right next to me in the truck. He's not someone that anybody could replace. He's a standard. Anybody that comes after him to our company's got big shoes to fill. Anybody that comes, I don't know, I feel a lot of peace about he's here. But I feel like he just wants his family to know that he loves you guys more than you know. He's in a great place. I feel like he doesn't want you to worry. Just, this is what he would have wanted, a celebration of his life, not a mourning. So that's pretty much all I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Bill Weasley.
Kyle, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you. We don't have a lot of time. I have a couple friends of mine who flew down here with me because I don't live here, so I live over in Delaware, so I have a few friends that came down here with me, and I would like one of them to say a few things before we leave. So, Miss Pierline, would you like to say something or read a passage from the Bible for us, please?
My name is Pierline. And all the good things that TJ have said about Richard, I believe that Luigi, who lives in Delaware with us, is the same person and always talks about his brother. Even though I never had a chance to meet him face to face, but I knew him before I even saw him. Because his brother always talks about him. As Genesis 3 verse 19 says, by the sweat of your brow you will eat your food until you return to the ground. Since from it you were taken, for dust you are, and dust you will return. C'est soin courageux qui vous fait remonter dans mon sauté dans le jour. Vous faire la tournée, en terre à côté au sauté, parce que c'est poussière où il y a continuer poussière. Even though the Bible said we are dust, and to dust we shall return, He did give us that John 3 verse 16, for God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in Him shall not be perished, but have everlasting life. So I believe that wherever Richard is, he is in a better place. Matthew 11:28 verse 30. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden. I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your soul. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Le verset a dit, Jean 3 verset 16, parce que mon Dieu si tellement aimé les hommes, il va celle qui est pour eux. Tout le monde qui va mettre confiance sur lui, ne pas faire la vie, au contraire, il y a fait la vie qui va bien finir. Si vous mettez où la gentille, just connect it, death waits for no man. And even if it waits, it doesn't wait for long. Merci.
Thank you. Again, I'm not sure if you want to say something. Si bien.
No thoughts, Sicilian. My name is Sabian. I know this guy for more than a decade, 15, 20 years. This is just a kid to me still. All that social media bullshit, that's not Richard. Don't judge him by what you see on social media. Richard is still a kid. Like he said, if you're in a fight, he got your back 100%.
Definitely.
100 niggas running after you. He said, yo, don't run, stay right here. I got your back. That's what you did, I know it. All that social media bullshit, that's not Richard, man. And I still can't believe he's winning. That's what I can say.
Thank you. If anyone would like to say something else, please, you'll be okay.
know this is hard for everybody because I didn't ever expect nothing like this to come up, but I knew Richard very well. We shared a lot of time, a lot of moments, and a lot of things together. And I just want to say he's not what everybody thinks online. He is a loving, honest, hard-working. He's a noble man. If he says anything to you, he will follow through with it, no matter what. If he makes any promise, he will come through with it. He is, anytime they will call from work, whether it be 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4:30, let's say he's even out in the club, he will stop what he's doing and go to work. He'll put on them khaki pants and them boots and go. He always wanted anybody close to him to do better. He would always tell me, I want you to make more money. I want you to go to work when you're off. He would say so much stuff. He always wanted the best for everybody. He loved his family. He had a lot of people, of course, online and stuff, but as far as his actual people that he knows, it was only few and many. He loved his family, and he had, just like his brother said, if he loved you, then he would have his heart. His smile is contagious. Only thing, when I close my eyes, I just think about him always smiling. He's always smiling, always making me laugh. He's so funny. And me and him were not together, but me and him obviously were very much still in contact. He was working on buying a house, on getting his credit. Richard always had bigger dreams, always. I'm sorry, I can't do this. I can't, I'm sorry.
Richard died because he was a nice guy. Richard died because he had friends that was not his friends. Richard died because Richard did not listen to family. The fact that we were family, what we say did not matter, because whatever happens, we are going to be there for him. If he gets locked up, he will call me. He knows I will not say no. He will call TJ. TJ will not say no. The same way, if you are a friend of Richard, you have problem. It becomes Richard's problem. That was one of his problems. I have friends, but Richard said, every friend into family. It shouldn't be that way. Because some people you are friends with, they are not your friends. Some people you are friends with, people you calling friends, they are not really your friends. And I bring the only reason why I bring my son here, so he knows, so he can see Richard die, because he has a bunch of friends himself that I don't want him to be friends with. Well, you can't make him choose. You can choose friends for him. You can't choose your friends, but you can choose how you live with them. If Richard died, you heard my brother said what brother said about Richard. I didn't want to talk about Richard's life, how Richard was a good person. So anybody who knows Richard was a good person. Richard will start laughing from the time you see him to the time. Richard picked me up from the airport. By the time we get home, I laughed so hard I can't even speak. My brother, I got home, my brother said, what happened? We were just joking in the car. Richard's just that funny. We say stuff to each other, we just talk. That kid was just a good person, he was good. But he had a Yet people thinking of himself differently, posting pictures on Instagram to show people that he was someone that he was not. But people judge him by that, putting guns and everything and all that. Yes, Richard was fearless. Yes, Richard was brave, but some of the things that he did was over the top. I can't talk bad about my brother because he's my brother. But Richard shouldn't be here. We shouldn't be here. We should be watching Richard getting married. I should be celebrating Richard having freaking open a business. But God had another plan for Richard. Like my good friend said, Richard went somewhere to prepare something for us, to prepare a place for us. The same way when he comes home, my brother prepared food for him. So that's where Richard went. But Richard shouldn't gone yet. He shouldn't be gone yet. He should have waited for us to actually, I didn't want to talk about Richard that way, but my brother took the whole time and talk about Richard that way. Kind of made me feel like I didn't say enough about my brother. It will be the last time all you guys will sit there and then watch someone talk about someone who died. Nobody's going to do that again. We're not just going to have a party and say, let's just talk about Richard. People don't do that. So this is the time that if you have something nice to say about Richard, whatever you have to say about Richard, that would be the time. But Richard had 1 million friends. Richard had 30,000 people follow him on Instagram. He had 100,000 people that block his page. Then another one. Richard should have filled this room like 100 times. But these were just people watching Richard. They were not Richard friends. Richard, where you go? Yo, my homeboy, his car broke down. And I say, yeah, that's why they have insurance. Tell him to call what do you call AAA. No, man, he called me, so I gotta come through for him. But Richard would have his car broke down, would sit home for 4 or 5 days until his car fixed. No one will come and pick up Richard and take Richard somewhere. My brother told him that. I wanted to tell him, you see, you have a bunch of friends you always try to go through, always try to come through for. But look at you. Your car broke down, it's been 4 days. I don't see one person came here and got you. The so-called best friend that you have, none of them show up. But him, he can't spend 10 minutes out of the house. As soon as he get home, someone called him, he gotta go and do something for someone. I don't want that kind of friends. I don't want that kind of friends for my friends. I don't want that kind of friends for my family. I don't want that kind of friends for my children. And I don't want that kind of friend for myself. And friendship, you're supposed to put on, like they say in relationship, is 50-50. I have never done relationship 50-50. I always put 100 out there. If you want to give me 50, that's all you. But I'm going to put 100 until you don't put anything, and then I'm out. Richard put 100% on everything. Richard told me he got this job about a decade ago, that he got this job restoring houses. If there's a fire or flood or something, he go to the house and fit. And I said, what do you know about this thing? He said, man, I'm going to learn it. Yes, he did. He went to school. He got a license. He went to work for a company. He moved up within 2 years. That was Richard. Richard, we got your back no matter what. Me and this kid got locked up together. How many witnesses I have? I have 2 witnesses. My brother and Celia. We at the club. This guy drinks on me. Richard said, you have to apologize. This dude said no. His other friend got into my face. Richard said, that's my brother. And that's all she wrote. Next thing you know, we both in the back seat of the police. We're sitting at the jail. Now we're talking about how the hell we got here. That was Richard. That was Richard. My daughter graduating from high school, Richard. Bring flowers, bring money. My daughter graduating from kindergarten, Richard wearing a suit. He got his work pants on and his work boots on. He put the damn suits on and came to my kid's graduation. That was Richard. Yo, I'm going to Haiti. Yo, don't go to Haiti. Haiti is bad, man. If you need me to go with you, then let me go with you. That was Richard. That's the Richard that I know. Or the Richard that we see online, that is not the Richard that is Richard. That is not Richard. That's just someone Richard created because Richard think that this is the Richard that they want to know. But when you're somewhere with Richard, is a different kind of person. Man was nice. He's not gonna be nice to you if he doesn't like you. But Richard was nice. My brother said he was spending his last $5 on you. I've seen him do it. And guess who he came and asked for more money? He took his money and gave it to someone, but he came and asked me for money now. That was Richard. I'm going to miss this kid. This is the last time I'm going to see him. I'm going to miss this kid. Because last time I talked to him was on his birthday. Because every time on his birthday, he do something extravagant. And I called him last year, and I told him, yo, don't do anything stupid, man. You're always blowing a bunch of money, and then after that, the next day you go. You can't do that, dog. You just go and have fun, and then after you gotta have some money left. But he doesn't do it that way. When Richard go hard, Richard just go hard. That's the kind of person Richard was. But that kind of person killed Richard. I have a business, people afraid of coming to my business. I lose customers because they're afraid of me, because they say my character is kind of like, I'm not giving anyone that chance to put me in the same place Richard is. No. We're friends, yes, we're friends. But I know my friendship has limit. Richard's friendship didn't have limit. Richard will go all the way with you. He trusts everyone. And I don't have that kind of luxury. And this one there's 5 people that I trust. My brothers, there's one, Sibian, this guy, I'll give my life for him. He'll give his life for me. My father, my best friend, and her sister. My dad, my kids, but they don't know that yet, but yeah. Richard was the first person on that list. Richard got my back no matter what. And then he proved it to me many times. It's not saying it because we were brothers, no. He showed it to me, and then I know. This is the end for me. I don't know if anybody will try to say something else, but I don't have anything else I can tell you about Richard that anyone who knows Richard doesn't know. TJ, if you try to finish this, if you want to say something before we're done. I'm done.
Yes.
And I have a bunch of flowers here. If anyone try to bring Richard some flowers. There's over there. There's one.
Alright, I apologize about earlier. I just hadn't seen him yet. Everything everybody said about Richard is true. Everything. He was a good man. He always claimed, everything he said, he made it happen. If you were in trouble, he will put himself first at the battlefield. That's him all the way. He is a protector. Always was a protector. Definitely that. Hard worker, good man, always keep you laughing. He jokes so much. So much he would joke. And it would always, even if I'm mad at him, he would make me laugh.
That's Richard.
Richard loved it. One thing that somebody said that resonated with me is he loves eating. He would always feed me. always bring me Haitian food, always bring me food. He would love me to cook for him. You know, I was trying to make all of the Haitian food for him, and he would eat it. He loves food. And that's one thing about him that makes him happy. You know, even if I was mad at Richard, one thing about him is he would always bring me flowers. He loved flowers. He loved roses. He loved it. I don't know what the deal with it is.
It's a family thing.
It's the weirdest thing. But even if I'm pissed at him, he would bring me flowers. And I'm like, oh, and I'll just forget about it. But he was a good man, hardworking, and he loved kids. It's the weirdest thing, but he loved smart kids. He wanted them to be smarter. He wanted them to do better. Richard, I just cannot say enough. We don't have enough time for me to tell you so much, but the only thing I would say is what you see online is not who he really is. He's a loving person. And one thing that I did see about him is his vulnerable side. I've seen so much love from him, and I can't imagine ever, you know, talking to him again. But I'm gonna give him these flowers because he would always bring me flowers. Richard loved himself. He loved to be pampered. You know, he loved to get massages. He loved to get his nails and feet done. He loved to get facials. Richard loved himself so much. He loved to look good, loved to wear his jewelry. He loved to go to the mall for hours and buy himself things. And then he'll bring me stuff home too. He was always thinking about how he can better himself. So whoever did this and why they did it was undeserving. I'm trying to find peace when not knowing what really happened. Because no matter what, he didn't deserve that. I shouldn't have to be here talking at his funeral right now. Richard was a good man.
Come here.